Let's go. Are we actually on? You're here listening with Kayla
and Georgia,
bringing you real, raw and relatable chats on the Evolve to Thrive podcast.
Stay tuned because shit's about to get juicy as we dive into all things health, fitness, life and relationships.
Let's go. Woo. Hello, everybody. It is season number 2 and we are back in the studio. And guess what? I am accompanied with Miss Georgia Lay.
We are back.
She's back. We are back. The tribe is back.
We're both fucking rapt to be here.
We're stoked.
Stoked.
We're actually so excited. And although
I've copped a bit of abuse from Kayla because I took way too long off. But
just to recap, she took a good 2.5 months. But you know what? It's all right. Peter joined. He filled in. And you know what? The break is what Georgia needed to come back stronger and better.
Absolutely. A better person, you know.
You have evolved and thrived.
Absolutely. Thriving is definitely the right word to use about it.
Hell yeah. All right. Talk to me then. So 2.5 months off. What happened in your 2.5 months in terms of, let's talk about Christmas. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year?
Christmas and my New Year was good. It was a lot more quiet this year. Let's rewind a little bit. What date was what date did I start recording?
So I believe the mid-October. So I think it was episode 21. Georgia and I, the last time Georgia and I recorded together was episode 21. And that was when we were speaking about, it was our era of solitude. And it was a relationship sex episode that we ended up doing because we started talking to Peter about whatever the hell was going on in our sex life. And then we were like, let's scrap the planned episode. And it was our first like random episode with no plan.
One?
That was the last one we did. And then shit hit the fan. I had my show.
Yeah.
We had a break from that. And then we come back after I came back from Queensland and I was like, I'm ready to go, guys. And you're like, I'm not coming back.
I'm not coming back. I need some time off, time for myself. And that's exactly what I did.
We're going to get into that about our final wrap of what 2023 looked like. But before we do, I think for our first episode back this year of 2024, our purpose of today is to kind of get through what
just get through.
So apparently I'm not allowed to say sir anymore, and we're going to talk about all the cringes that have
Kayla very much emphasizes some of her words. So when she says so, she's like, sir. And it's just hilarious to take the piss out of her and cut.
So that's what we're leaving behind in 2024. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what we are leaving behind in 2023, what we are sticking and keeping with in 2024. And we're also going to talk about the highs and the lows of 2023. Yep. So what went well for us, what went shit for us, and we can kind of highlight pretty much what our year of 2023 was, and whether we had more highs rather than lows. And we're going to just do a little bit of a comparison and give you a little bit of advice of what we kind of learnt from 2023 and what we're going to be taking away into the new year.
Absolutely. Should we start with our regular segment of craving or tip of the week?
Let's do it. All right. So do you want to go first with your tip or craving? Are we going with the week?
I'm going to go with a tip of the week. And for anyone following me on Instagram will know what I'm about to say. But I basically posted a photo of my water filter earlier this week.
You did?
Yeah.
The difference.
Before I go into it, do you know how many people message me saying, what the fuck is this? Because it was literally like, it's a long piece of porcelain and it's a long piece of white porcelain and then a dirty long piece of porcelain, and it looks like a big dick. Yeah. Anyway, my tip is that don't be drinking tap water because it's filthy. It's full of chemicals. It's full of poison. And the photo that I posted of my filter shows exactly that. So stop drinking tap water. Get a fucking filter.
How does your filter work?
There's a little cord that you connect to the sink, and then the water just fills through it, goes to the porcelain, filters it, and then it comes out the tap. So it's just like, it's high flow. So you're not just sitting there waiting for it. But yeah, I couldn't tell you
She can't swear enough. by it?
I can't swear enough by it. I fucking froth it. I'm smirking now thinking about it.
Just can't wait to get through it.
Crystal clear water filter, I think it's called.
All right.
Instagram, so
nice.
get onto it.
Cool. Where'd you get your filter from?
Crystal clear water filter. That's what it's called.
Oh, like online or?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Of course.
Yeah. On Instagram.
Gosh, you did. All right. I'm going to provide a useful tip of the week as well, rather than a craving today.
Okay.
And because it's a new year, a lot of us are starting to talk about what we want to work on. Mm-hmm. And something that I've been speaking about with a lot of my clients in this week particularly is getting them into journaling. Mm-hmm. And hey,
how do you find it?
Gay.
I believe you can't use that word anymore. It's very insulting. Fuck off. We've adopted Peter.
Every single minute of it is. Sorry, go.
Well, look, to be fair, he has been a replacement of you for the last 2 months.
He has a very good replacement of me, actually.
So it's now a tribe of 3. We're now a tribe of 3.
Before we got into it,
I didn't even finish my tip.
I know, but we didn't cheers.
All right.
Sorry, I cut you off.
It's clearly been a while and a lot of people are going to hate this episode.
I know already. I already hate it. But let's cheers. Cheers to 2024.
Cheers to 2024.
Cheers to 2020. God, you've sculled yours.
These ladies are not in prep right now and we are having a mother frickin' drink.
You have to cheers and then sip it and you have to look me in the eye too or you got bad luck for 2024. You right away.
Bad sex. 7 years.
We can't get any worse.
Anyway, continue. So you've got...
All right, so general tip of advice. Mm-hmm. If you're going to get into journaling, the one type of journal that I strongly recommend is the 1 line a day. Now, what that looks like is you've got basically a 3 to 5 year journal and you write 1 line a day and on that same page is like 3 years. So you write whatever comes to your mind for that day of every single day of the year. And then when it's the following year, you go back and write on that same page and you see what you wrote on that same date the year before. So I used it a lot as a manifesting kind of tool. And so there was days that I wrote, by this time, by this date next year, you will have quit your job. Mm-hmm. By this time next year, you'll be making X, Y, and Z. By this time next year, blah, blah, blah. Or I would write a highlight of my day or something that pissed me off, a triggering moment, anything related to like my whole life, right? Yeah. And like it's really cool going back through now that I'm 3 years into it and I can see what I wrote last year and the year before and seeing where I was mentally at that point. It's fucking wild.
That's cool.
It's really cool. I got it from Kmart.
Oh, okay.
So get it from Kmart. Otherwise, literally just Google 1 line a day journals and you can either get 3 or 5 year ones. And it's fucking the best. And another tip is to leave it by your fucking bedside table so you actually, unless you've got a partner because then they'll read it and you don't want them to read it.
Oh my God, I had a journal.
Mine's on my bedside.
Oh, if someone ever read my journal, they'll actually fucking die.
I got a confession. So one of my ex-boyfriends
had a journal and you read it.
Had a journal and I read it.
What was in there? Was it any juice?
I don't want to dive into it because, you know, if he happens to come across this, but I did read it and
like was stuff about you in there?
There was stuff about me and then there was stuff about just like where he's at in his life and certain things that I didn't know about and some of it was a bit like, oh, and then some of it was sad and I was like, I kind of wish I didn't read it because it's just like, it's an invasion of privacy.
It's in a monologue, yeah. It's like...
Yeah, it's your own,
It's your deepest, darkest thoughts that you put in your journal. And I think getting clear on that with actually getting that, articulating that to yourself is so crucial because I personally think that journaling allows you to become so self-aware. So we're leaving behind that in 2024.
But on that, you're right. Like I found that I used to journal for a bit and like, I don't know, there was parts where I enjoyed it and then there was other parts where I'm like, oh, I actually can't be fuck writing.
1 line a day. That's why you commit to 1 line a day.
For me, I was like, what is good if like, you know how sometimes you can go into your notes or your messages and you can press record and then Siri like writes back what you're saying. So you can basically speak to yourself out loud and hear how you're thinking and then it comes out basically on a journal anyway.
Yep.
That works for me as well. Or you can just have conversations with yourself. That's what
Georgia loves a fucking voice memo. So
I'm a slut for a voice message. I love it.
Just voice memo yourself.
Honestly, it's so much easier because it's like, you know, when you've got like a million things you need to say. You're just like, I'm just going to talk.
Yeah. Oh my Lord. All right. Well, they are both our tips for the week. I reckon we get into our highs and lows of 2023. So the way that we're going to roll this off the bat is you're going to say a high from 2023 and then I'll say a high from 2023.
Okay.
And then do you reckon we do all our highs and then all our lows, or we go one high, one low?
I reckon we do all our highs and then all our lows.
Or do we start with the lows and then end with the highs?
Yeah, I reckon that's a good idea. I reckon
Start with the negative and then that is see you later 2023.
because then we can pick it back up again with some high spirit, you know?
Because one thing, we are going to get into what we're leaving behind in 2023, but one thing that I am absolutely leaving behind in 2023 is negative fucking energy.
1,000%.
Studio, then I'm here.
Negative energy is leaving my soul.
But you know what? I've never experienced that around you. Yeah. I feel like you're always positive.
Yeah, you always
even
bring the positive.
Even when you can't be fucked, like you're still like a good energy to be around.
Yeah. My dark humor.
I was going to say, oh my God, how many times do you reckon Peter wanted to kill us last year?
Oh, you in particular. You in particular.
Did you say at least 5?
At least 5.
Yeah, fuck, I thought it was about 30 for sure.
Yeah. Oh, bless
We
you.
are absolute ball busters, but you know what? We're
what
very
were
grateful.
before about before I can't remember. Oh, fuck, just cut that out. Ignore me.
She's a bit rusty.
We're not cutting it out, Georgia.
No,
No,
we
no
were
cuts.
We were talking
No
before
cuts
about how we
2024.
nearly wanted to kill each other.
Oh,
So we've got this new editing
software
app for the pod, so we can get some good clips, whatever. Anyway, before this, to get clips for our social media was fucking horrendous. Like the amount of arguments that me and Kayla nearly got into just because of like these certain clips and the time it took to do just screen record, and it just made the quality of some things quite shit.
we cannot begin to explain how repulsed we are by our content last year.
Honestly. And just
Embarrassed.
I think we both had so much going on in our life, and then trying to find time to screen record and like do the edits. Like I remember even Reese was saying the way you guys are doing it is
ridiculous.
Just ridiculous.
Can I just, I'll explain what we did. So we manually, and guys, apparently, I don't know if you're aware, but we're in 2024 now and AI is a thing.
AI is a real thing.
So we are manually screen recording the clips of where we think we want to snip it, then uploading it into CapCut to get captions, and like we would go back and forth with each other.
But you've left out a bit, so you would crop the video, then screen record on top of that.
Oh my God, then put it in Canva.
Then I would send it to Kayla, and it would take probably 4 to 5 business days to actually even load to send to her. Then the quality, from doing that, the quality would already be shit. Then you would upload it. It was going through like 5 or 6 different software
stages. Anyway,
I'm getting puffed out from explaining that. Like
that caused a few heartaches.
Yeah, it caused a few tiffs.
Few mentee bees.
But you did a very good job at making majority of those. You did a very, very good job. Because if it wasn't for you, I would have just been like, this is just, it's too much for my brain.
I reckon the podcast would have ended if
100%. Guaranteed.
That was a bit of a roasting.
No, guaranteed. That's a sneaky dig at me, but you know, I'll take it.
But you know what? Guess what? We're going to be talking about what we're not doing in 2023. So let's move on. Highs and lows.
Let's start with lows
of the year. All right. Go for it.
Overall, do you feel like you had more positives or negatives in 2023?
I reckon, personally, I think I had more highs than lows last year.
Good.
I reckon I could definitely predict what your answer is going to be to this.
I feel like I had a good mix. Towards the end of the year, there was definitely more lows, hence the 2.5 month break. But I feel like there was a good mix for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get into it then. So what's one low that you've got highlighted here that you want to discuss?
Let's start with poor sleep.
Poor sleep. That's on both of our lists.
Yeah, this is a thing that I really struggled with last year, and even now I'm really struggling with it. I don't know what's going on, but the last couple of months I've been waking up twice throughout the night.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't matter what I do to try and reduce stress, like getting off my phone before I go to bed, not eating, having caffeine before certain times, trying to meditate, been a bit slack with that. But I don't know, I can't have a good, decent.
Do you know what's changed my life for that? Reading before bed.
Yeah.
Because I wrote this down on my lows for what I absolutely had a shit time with last year, and that was my sleep. And my issue was that I would be on my laptop till 10 p.m, 11 p.m. at night, and then I would want to go and be at the gym by 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I would have this war with myself every fucking day of like, break this habit, stop going to bed so late.
Yeah.
And I would be preaching to my clients to like get their 7 hours of sleep, and I was the biggest hypocrite ever because I was just working like a dog.
Yeah.
And like at that point, obviously I was still teaching and I was trying to get things in order to quit and run the business full time, but it was stressful. And like obviously no one speaks about this stuff, but yeah, I was really struggling with my sleep. And so something that I really want to change for this year is that.
Yep.
And what I have started doing is reading. I've got right into reading this year.
Yeah.
And what it does, it puts me to sleep. Like it literally fucking sedates me. And I just like
knocks you for six.
It knocks me out. Another thing that you can do is put your phone on charge outside of your bedroom.
Yeah, not next to your bed.
Not next to your side table. I think charge it. Like I do this. I've got a PowerPoint at the end of my bed. So I physically have to get up to check notifications, or I have all my notifications off anyway. So I have my phone on sleep mode. So by a certain time, it automatically does do not disturb. So nothing comes through.
That's a good one. Putting it on do not disturb.
Put it on do not disturb after 9:30. I think I've got it set to. And then I've got the night mode on my phone, which is like the yellow light. Anyway, I just do not check it now. And I leave it at the end of my bed, and then I put it on, I set my alarm, and then I go to bed, I read, or I do a journal, whatever. And then I end up just falling asleep so much better.
Yeah. I think I need to do that because it just.
How many hours of sleep were you getting last year on average?
Probably 6.
Yeah,
And
mine was 5, 6, I reckon.
I'm someone that needs at least 7 hours, or I'm like not a nice person to be around.
But it's just a freaking it's a snowball effect, because then it's like you have your shit sleep, then you wake up, and then gym is shit because you're tired, you're wanting to snooze your alarm the next day, and it's literally a domino effect. So what I've learned is it's like, okay, in order to rectify my whole day, I actually really need to be prioritizing this as a non-negotiable.
And changing some of the habits you're doing.
Changing the habits, So I reckon start doing reading. That might be helpful.
Okay. All right. Do that. I used to do it a bit, and that would get me to sleep, but I need to get back into it.
Yeah, cool. We'll have to provide some book recommendations too.
Absolutely. What about you? Give me one.
That was so sleep was one for me too. Time management is another one, I reckon.
Yeah, I think for me, both of us. I haven't got that down, but that's a good one for both of us.
I'm always late, and for those listening who are my friends, this is the biggest pet peeve about me. Everyone hates it, including myself.
Yeah, same. I hate when people are late. And I myself are late all the time. Yeah. And it's like, doesn't matter how many times you try and organize yourself and get enough time, up somehow late.
So my friends, I used to say, towards the end of last year, I said to them, if you need me there at 5, can you tell me that I need to be there at 4:30? Like tell me I need to be there at 4:30, and then I'll be there by 5.
Yeah.
And I just started saying that to them. And then they now know, tell me, my usual prediction always, me on time was 15 minutes late. Like that's just what it was.
Or smack on.
Nah, never. 5 minutes. If I was like, I'm so good, guys, it would be 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
I just really struggled to change that. So that's another thing that and guys, this was also my New Year's resolution last year, and I failed it hard. So time management. Yeah. I think on the note of time management, just not scheduling so much on my to-do list in one day.
Yes. How many times did we speak about this last year?
Yeah. I'm putting way too much on my to-do list that's just impractical.
Yeah.
And then you crack it at yourself because you never achieve it. And then it's like, well, how about you just, as we say, like all the time in health and fitness, set realistic goals. Well, like set realistic work targets as well.
Yeah.
So that, you're better with your time management. Like I need to actually put lunch and dinner in my calendar because I need to actually schedule in my day, like my time for rest. Like I literally have in my diary now
rest
9 till 9:30, like reading.
Yeah. I love that.
So that I'm actually doing it. Yeah. So time management, 100% was something I really was a low for me last year, like a very big low, because I just felt, because you just feel stressed and anxious and you're just rushing around.
Flustered.
Then you're flustered. Then you're speeding wherever you are to get somewhere, and you're always in
Don't I
this.
know that?
You're always in like this hyper state. And
Fight or flight constantly.
Your fight or flight, yeah. And I can't stand it. That's leaving me.
Yeah. That ties into one of mine. It says managing stress levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like I was shocking at doing that last year. Just like taking too much on my plate, not managing my emotions properly. And it just became one thing after another. And then it just got to the end of the year and it was like, I physically cannot take any more on my plate.
Yeah. That's where the journaling becomes so helpful, because everything that's going on in your mind, brain dumping.
Yeah.
Like you're literally just brain dumping everything out onto paper, and you can be as angry and as furious as you want. You can go off on a massive like rant in your diary because you're the only one reading it. And do you know how much better you feel when you have a massive rant? Fuck, I've looked at my diary when I was really angry and I'm like, what, is she crazy?
Yeah, I know. I actually found one of my journals a few weeks ago, and for some reason I put it in my work bag. And then I got to work and I was cleaning my bag out and I accidentally took it out because I thought it was just because it's like a little notepad, and I left it at work. And we have cleaners that come in every night, and I don't know if she's read it, but like it was picked up and it was moved into a different section like on my desk, and I was like, if she has read that, I'm embarrassed.
It is literally our worst nightmare. Hey,
Yeah, because it's like you literally are putting like how you feel. Like you're expressing how you feel to a T.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like, ooh.
I was just about to say we should do an episode where we bring our journals in and like
I
take
will
some
not be
things.
doing that.
And I said, then I just realized there's absolutely no way in hell I will ever share my journal with anyone.
Nah, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing that. Absolutely.
All right. Anything else? A low. Let's go for you. A low for you. You just said time money. No, you didn't. You said stress levels.
Stress levels. Yeah, that was kind of off of the back of what you were saying too.
So what's another thing that was a low for you?
Staying in situations, and whether that's relationships or friendships, staying in situations longer than I need to, and just like not
letting go of it,
letting go, or setting strong enough boundaries for myself. I think that's where I personally let myself down last year, is not putting strong boundaries in place for myself.
And so do you feel like you overcommitted to like too many people with like not having those boundaries?
Yeah, definitely. That's my phone ringing. It's distracting me. Yeah, so just taking too much on, and then like,
it's the BBC boy.
No, it's not. It's my sister. Can you stop? Yeah, taking too much on my plate and just overcommitting to different things. And then I also don't like letting people down. So it's like when I make plans with someone and then cancel on them.
Yeah,
like,
it makes you feel
sick. Like even when I was going to message you about like not being able to commit to the podcast for like a month or so, like I felt sick. I messaged Peter about it. I'm like, I feel sick that I have to message you this, because I'm like, I don't want to do that, and I don't like letting people down.
Yeah.
So moral of the story is I need to set. Sorry about that, guys. That was just my sister harassing me. But we're all good. What were we saying?
So we were talking about you overcommitting yourself and not cutting things off when you needed to. So in relation to relationships, friendships, something that was a low for you last year was even for, you gave an example of when you felt sick to your stomach about not being here for the podcast. So that was a really low point for you in how you felt in relation to actually managing yourself and setting your boundaries.
Yeah. And just, I needed to be there for myself more and like listen to how I felt. And if I couldn't do something, then it's okay. I don't need to be doing this. Like I don't need to be here, there and everywhere and taking on that many things.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's just like coming back to myself and just trying to figure out what it is that I need and want, and then building back up again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And do you feel like already you've set some things in place that you'll already be able to manage that better this year?
100%. Yeah. 100%. I just need to...
What's something that you've done since all of that went on last year, towards the back end of last year? Because obviously you did go through quite a low point last year. And we can talk about that when you're ready to talk about it, which doesn't need to be today. But what what we will say is like moving from acknowledging how shit the back end of last year was for you.
Yeah.
What have you kind of set in place for yourself to move forward in a better light for this year?
Recognizing when things don't serve a purpose and actually letting go of it. Like there was a number of situations where I knew weren't right for me. Again, friendships, relationships, work situations that I knew weren't right for me, but I just ignored it. And I find that I do that a lot with certain things. I just like, oh, it'll be right. And then I in turn feel shit about things. So I'm just like, when I do recognize that feeling, removing myself from it immediately and following through with that.
Yeah, being more firm on your word.
Yeah, sticking to my word.
And being more firm with what your gut is telling you, right?
Yeah, showing up for myself a little bit more.
Yeah, putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Another low for me was
What's another low for you, Kayla?
the car accident.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So the fucking getting hit by a car and fracturing my elbow 6 weeks out from my show was a bit of a low.
That's hectic. Like thinking.
I need to say something.
What? What?
Someone nearly fucking ran me over again like
When?
2 days ago. I dare it. So
That
in
car
the
park?
fucking car park, guys, this is fucked.
Airport West, it's fucked.
Listen to this
There's
story
barely a
though.
car park at Airport West. Yeah.
One would assume that it's my fault with this, right? As in, she got hit by a car. Oh, wow, it happened again. Cool. Kayla, what are you doing? So I'm walking to my car and I'm, attentive. Mm-hmm. And it was pouring down rain the other day. And this girl, she's just, as she's driving straight, she just pulls her car into reverse. She had saw a spot. So she's gone from going straight to fucking whipping it into reverse, and I was behind the car, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Were you in the car or like out?
No, I was literally standing.
Oh,
and I was like, I nearly just got hit by a car again.
Fucking hell. Could you imagine? Round 2.
Could you imagine? Anyway, so that was definitely a low for me. But you know what? As bad as it was a blessing in disguise. And I did speak about this in the episode of me getting hit by the car and talking about the whole accident, if you want to listen back to that.
Yeah.
But it was the biggest wake up call for me and the biggest lesson, because I feel like that happened to me for a reason. And I feel like that happened to me so that I would slow the fuck down.
And do you know what? One thing, I think I told you this. What I noticed that massively after that happened. Like even just talking to you, you weren't as scattered and you weren't as like chaotic. Like even just talking to you, just a bit more like
calm.
Yeah.
I was so much more calm
Your
after it
nervous
happened.
system was probably trying to still like
Do you know what I think as well, when you realise like you nearly died?
Yeah.
A lot goes through your mind and you're like, what am I stressing about day to day?
Big time.
Like, what the fuck is actually there to be stressed about?
Yeah, it's like when someone around you passes away as well, that's almost like a perspective shift as well. 'Cause
Massive.
It's like, I am worrying about the most dumbest, irrelevant shit. Or when you think about, this is really morbid, but I always think about like, if I had 24 hours to live, what would I do differently? And like, there's so many things that I worry about or think about on a day to day. I'm like,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
This is not going to matter when you're like on your deathbed.
It's like what people say who have worked in palliative care, and they go the most common thing that they get people saying on their last words is like, I wish I did this, as in I wish I spent more time with this person, or people are acknowledging who you were as a person, not what you did, or like, do you know what I mean? They're looking at qualities of you in a person and stuff. Like, there's so many other things that people actually give a fuck about.
There was a TikTok where a lady was basically saying that, and she listed like the top 6 things that people would say, and every single one of them had to do with like doing more for yourself or doing more for others or giving back and like making more of an impact to people around you rather than like materialistic things and like surface level things. All of it was just like, about like being there for others and like doing, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because time is like your limited resource.
Yeah.
So
just had a brain fart there.
But yeah, that was another low for me. What about you? Another low.
You're on another low. Fucking hell.
As in, no. Is there more on the list?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think those.
Let's do the funny lows.
The funny lows. Which one's the funny low? I don't think any of my lows were funny, to be honest.
One of my lows is the poor dating game.
Oh, yeah.
My poor ick for dating.
Your poor ick for dating.
The icks of dating.
Yeah.
The no dating. No, that wasn't really a low. I put that on there.
Poor icks for dating? What?
No. So like as in our dating game, we had a poor dating game. Was that a shit thing? I don't know. Actually, I don't think it was.
I was with one person for the whole fucking year, so I wasn't really dating.
Yeah, true. All right. So carry on. Let's move on to
Let's pick this energy up and let's go to the positives of 2023.
100%.
We've got this with our first one, we have the same. So we both competed in WBFF.
Yeah, and we were pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I kind of wish we did the same show.
I know. When we compete next, we 100% have to compete in the same show.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be fun.
But that was definitely
A highlight.
A highlight for sure, because we keep speaking about this, but you just put so much of your time and your effort into this thing, and it's just like you spend more than half the year preparing for this one day, and like it's just your whole, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, your whole world revolves around. And unfortunately, like the people around you suffer for it too, because they're kind of like doing things around you to fit you, and they're changing their life around to fit you as well. So, yeah, I think that was definitely one of my highs.
As much as the prep can be challenging, it's definitely a high for me. I cannot explain the reward at the end. I cannot explain the adrenaline on the day, the achievement of like feeling really proud in yourself.
I fucking did this.
Like I fucking made it, and like I look fucking great, and I actually felt so amazing up on stage.
Yeah. And
I know for me, posing was something that I was so anxious about.
Yeah.
So like I came so far with that. How many are we on?
We're on about 8 now. might put a counter on.
And so I definitely can tell how much of an improvement it was. So when I actually got up on stage, and
just on that, you should do a video compilation of when you first started to when you like were posing on stage, because the first video that you ever showed me of you posing to how you actually posed on stage, honestly, was like huge. Like you worked for it.
Yeah. Definitely.
You spent the time like trying to master it, which was good.
Yeah, I definitely put a lot of effort into it. So I think reward, as in seeing the hard work pay off, is a really great feeling. It also teaches you so much about you as a person and the qualities, like your dedication, your determination, how fucking unstoppable you are, like
how uncomfortable you're willing to get just to get to a certain thing.
I never push myself beyond like to that point ever. Unless I'm in a prep.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding, and I'm very that's a massive highlight from last year is competing.
Sometimes I was going through my phone, and there was things that I came across of just like certain parts that I documented throughout the journey, and I'm just like, I can't believe I fucking did that. Like, I can't believe I put up with some of the shit that I put up with just
for that day
to get up on stage.
Yeah.
Like, fucking oath.
Even like just there's so many great things that came with it in terms of like going on a holiday for a week, and the people that you surround yourself with. You meet so many people. Like it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to do it all again.
Absolutely.
All right. Another high of the year.
Mm-hmm. You don't have this in your list, but I think it should be in there, because the second one, we've got starting this pod, obviously.
Yeah.
A highlight of the year.
You want me to read it? What?
This is awkward now.
Go.
My list, I said we've got starting the pod is a high of the year.
Oh!
Fuck me, man. You looked at me like I was like, what am I talking about?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Okay,
starting the pod in 2023 is a high of the year.
Okay, that is a massive high. We are so proud.
No, we are. At the start of the year, we spoke about it and what we kind of wanted to do and achieve with it. And I think we had 2 conversations about it. And after the second conversation, we fully committed to it. And from that day moving forward, we like just went full throttle towards it. And now we're fucking season 2 in.
Season 2, 26 episodes. Do you know what's so funny? The way that come about, we were talking about in the gym. I went on Peter's podcast and I was like, I want to start a podcast. I really enjoyed that. I fucking love to talk shit, and that was amazing. I want to start a pod. And I remember being like, I am not starting a podcast solo. I reckon when I listen to podcasts with only one person, I'm like, you are boring.
Yeah.
You need someone to bounce off.
You need banter.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And like, that's why I think I love the episodes where we have guests on, because it's just brings a different personality and just different like conversations. And I think it always flows really well too. So
yeah. Yay to us.
Yay to us. Cheers to that, girlfriend. I'm going to hate looking back at that. Shut up, Peter.
Cringe. Okay.
All right,
so
another high.
I fucking quit my job. I quit
Yay!
teaching.
Cheers to that. No, that's huge.
That's huge. I think what I can take in terms of the highs of the year, there was a lot of goals that I ticked off in 2023.
Fuck yeah.
Like if I were to look, you asked me earlier, was there more highs than lows? There were definitely more highs than lows. So yeah, I think that was a massive thing. And this goes back to the 1 line a day journal for everyone playing at home. In October last year, October the year before, I said this time next year I'm going to quit teaching by the end of 2024.
Did ya?
Yeah. It's written in my journal. It's written in my journal, and I would love to show you guys the actual proof that I wrote that. And I did. I wrote, I will not be teaching in 2024.
Post it on your story. That's cool.
I should. Yeah. So I achieved that goal. I'm so happy.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Very exciting.
I'm going to get one of those because
do it.
Yeah. I need to hold myself more accountable.
Give yourself a timeline of when you think you're going to go full into the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And hold yourself to it. Because if you give yourself a timeline, you're like, I have to work towards this.
Yeah. Honestly, what a feeling though of being able to like quit a corporate job and working for someone else and just fully committing to working for yourself.
Yeah.
What a feeling.
I mean, I'm actually scared as shit, to be completely honest.
But it's worth it. Everything that comes with it will be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I don't think I realized how much it makes a difference when you just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like how scattered we both were last year.
And again, it comes back to taking on too much.
Yeah.
Putting too much on your plate, and you physically cannot achieve anything when you've got too much to do. It's like you look at it and you're like, where do I start?
Analysis by, what's that?
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. You got too much going on that you do nothing.
Yep.
Like
that was me constantly last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I still feel like it's still me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to leave that behind.
I feel like I've had this conversation multiple times with people at work lately, where and we've even had this conversation where you're like, surely there's more to life than waking up and working for someone else and doing a corporate job.
But this is the thing.
And there's people that have done that for 25, 30 years.
There's people that have been doing that for 50 years.
I can't. I just spat because I just got so upset.
You were that repulsed.
I was repulsed by it. Like, yeah, what a feel. Good on you for like setting a goal and following through with it. And now you're living it. Can
I just say it is the highlight of that is when I woke up, even this whole school holidays, usually I'd be like, fuck, I've got to like do some planning or get organized for this school year. And I'm like, I don't have to do that this year.
What a feeling.
I'm like, to be fair, I'm doing a lot of business work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like it's what I want to be doing. So I don't care.
And there's value in like what you're doing because you know there's going to be a benefit out of that outcome.
Exactly. But the feeling of being like, oh my God, even towards the end of last year when everyone was like packing, like I was packing up my desk and I was like, oh my God,
bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, it was amazing. Very nice. But yeah, even traveling as well.
Yeah.
Is that was a high for you for last year, doing a little bit of travel?
Yeah.
Interstate travel?
I did a lot of interstate travel, but I don't know why, but I don't count that as traveling.
Yeah.
I only count travel as in like going international.
International, yeah.
So I didn't do any international. I actually haven't traveled internationally since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID. So that's on my to-do list this year.
I actually don't think I've gone overseas since then either.
Didn't you
Hang on, I went to the Philippines, my bad. Yeah, no, that was a high from 2023.
Yeah.
I started my year.
I was going to say it was early in the year.
In January 2023, I went to the Philippines. That was such a good trip.
Yeah.
I did oh my God, I've had a mental blank, but I did a tour company. It was bloody great. Anyway, that was a highlight of the year, traveling to the Philippines. And I reckon we can almost wrap up our highs and lows. Is there anything you want to
No, that's probably it. Maybe starting my course. That was probably like another one that I thought about. Just like taking the step to actually get qualified and.
How are you going with it?
Good, getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
It's hard to find. Like I'm trying to commit like at least an hour every night to
Just
it.
like little snippets.
Yeah.
Like even if it's whether at like an hour, you just say an hour a night or something.
Yeah, or like an hour and a half because by the time you like open everything
true.
and like actually get concentrated and start doing productive work, it's like an hour and a half.
True. True.
I've just lost my train of thought. I've just had a mental blank. Yeah, no. So actually, like starting that, committing to it, and like just one step closer to.
One step closer.
Yeah.
Small step by step.
That's it.
All right. That is our highs and lows, and I think pretty much to finish up, we're going to talk about our ins and outs of 2024. That's some kind of trend at the moment, so we're going to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, we're always here for a bandwagon.
We're always here for an Insta trend.
Always here for it.
TikTok trend.
So why don't we do this? Like not rapid fire, but
we've got our rapid fire too.
Yeah, don't jump down my throat. We're going to like, instead of divulging into it, let's just.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Okay.
So what are some of the things that you're getting rid of for 2024?
I am definitely getting rid of shit sleep.
Yep. Me too.
That is.
I second that.
That's fucking going.
Yeah.
That is going.
Sleep hygiene.
Sleep hygiene.
Tick.
Yeah.
When we get to season 4, because we're going to get halfway through the year for season 2. Season 3 is the second half of the year. Season 4, we're going to come back and report saying that we've had the best sleep this
of
year.
our life. Okay.
Absolutely.
Outs.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That needs to go.
Yep.
I feel like I suffered a lot with that last year.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that with me, particularly about the podcast too.
Yeah.
And then you definitely were second guessing and having a bit of self-doubt.
Yeah.
The reason that I put imposter syndrome up is because I never ever thought I had it until I quit my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until I quit teaching and was like, oh my God, this is actually my job now.
Yeah.
And I think when you envision what you want to do with it, you're like, oh my God, am I actually good enough? And then what needs to go is just comparisons.
Social media needs to go. It needs to stay, but it also needs to go at the same time.
It's really hard because I think regardless, you can tell yourself all you want that you don't compare yourself to anyone else, and you do.
You do.
I don't give a shit what anyone says.
And that's the same as imposter syndrome too. Like everyone has it.
Yeah.
And if you let it take the reins, it'll fucking eat away at you.
This book that I just read, it was called The Power of Now. And it was very spiritual. It was almost too spiritual for me. But essentially that spoke a lot about just being present. That was the whole purpose of the book. But really knowing, like being conscious and being able to meditate and really get inside your thoughts and where you're at, like inside your body. And so listening to your body and taking that moment to actually meditate to a point where you're feeling what your body will tell you how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to me because I think the more that I do that, that's when you start having that self-doubt and these triggering things come up about what you actually think of yourself.
Yeah.
And the imposter syndrome as well. And I was like, wow, I've got work to do. And I didn't realize this, and literally until this year.
Yeah. Wow.
Like about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this needs to go in 2024. We're not having it.
We're not having it. So, you know what's also, I think we spoke about that's not up here is therapy.
Therapy.
I think
what needs to
that's
be in.
No, but like getting yourself, that's definitely something that's in, but getting into therapy.
So your out would be not acknowledging
those feelings, just dismissing it. Yeah, I've kind of just jumped into the
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, getting yourself into therapy as a way of realizing and understanding how you're feeling. Yeah, I feel like it's just a way of like it's another form of like meditation, I feel.
Bottling up your feelings is out for 2024.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Negative energies, I already mentioned, that is going.
Negative energies and meaningless connections.
Yeah.
With whether it's
intimate,
romantic relationships,
friends,
platonic relationships, friends, get fucking rid of them. You don't need them.
Don't you feel like it's such a sponge?
Yeah.
Like when you're around it, I know when I hang out with people that just bitch about people,
I'm like, become a bitch.
I'm like, get me out.
Yeah.
I don't want these fucking surface level shit conversations, because when you're hanging out with people that just bitch about other people, that is a true reflection that they've got absolutely nothing going for them in their life.
Right. But then also when you're hanging around people like that, you naturally start doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you are who you hang around with. So
you are a product of your environment.
You hang around people that are bitching and moaning, you're going to start bitching and moaning too.
Yeah. This was a huge thing when I was particularly at school because there was a lot of negativity there. A lot of people complain about the job. Like a lot of people complain about the job of teaching. And then that's where I'm like, yeah, but you're happy just continuing doing that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then that was where I was like, well, I'm clearly not 100% happy here. So I'm going to change my lifestyle, you know? And it's like, it's true. You can't surround yourself with that negative energy. Otherwise it just consumes you.
Yeah.
So I noticed a big impact because I was doing both. I was working part-time and being on my own, doing my own thing. And when I was hanging out more with people in the fitness industry, I was like, oh my God, like there's so much great energy and positivity. And
you feel in your whole soul that this is where you need to be.
You literally just feel it. And you become pulled and attract, like you literally gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
So we are exiting negative energy.
Yeah.
Not being around it.
All right. Positives, ins.
I am all for the self-development in 2024.
100%.
Yeah.
Self-development.
Like journaling.
Therapy. I'm so big on therapy at the moment.
Actually, talk to us. I know we wanted to do rapid fire, but just quickly.
Yeah.
You started seeing a therapist.
I have started seeing a therapist.
And you love it.
I love it. So I had a friend that recommended me
we should we should probably do a drop of a referral, I reckon. Maybe.
Once she gives her a discount.
Yeah, absolutely.
Discount
but
code.
if anyone wants to know who she is, just message me. But she's amazing. Like the moment I met her, I instantly felt calm. I instantly felt like I had known her for years. And I've seen a couple of different therapists before and I've never felt like that. Like it was very just, I don't know. Like I remember I had this therapist and I started crying because I was going through a breakup and she fucking got sage out and started saging me. I'm like, babe, my heart's breaking. You're trying to sage me. Like I'm not trying to have that. But
this one you actually connected with.
And the moment I got in there, all I did was yappity. And I was telling her things that I've never.
Because you actually felt comfortable.
Yeah. I was telling her things that I'd never told anyone or like I'd never said out loud. And then I was like, normally I would feel weird if I had said it out loud, but I've just felt so comfortable with her. So
do you know what I'm in for 2024? Is she doing this are you doing the inner child work stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where a lot of your issues come from. So anyone watching the camera, this is where everyone's issues come from. Is your childhood.
Your childhood trauma.
And just understanding how your parents raised you. That's like the biggest thing is how your parents raised you. Not that like whether it was positive or negative, but your parents, when you're that little, your parents don't know what your needs are. So when your needs aren't met as a child, it affects how you like relate, how you communicate, how you just handle different situations in your life. So, yeah, that's what we're kind of starting to head down.
I love that. I am hearing it more and more, but I think that's because I'm becoming more open to listening to podcasts and stuff related to that inner childhood trauma and how it plays such a massive role in your future relationships and
absolutely
how you show up in your relationships, how other people show up in the relationship with you. It all stems from that inner childhood trauma, and like whether you said you've had it or you're not, it's somehow impacting how you're showing up in relationships now.
Yeah.
So I'm for it. That's in 2024.
And by trauma doesn't have to be like this massive thing like that.
A life event
that's happened. It can be just one of your needs not getting met. Yeah. And then as a child that turns into trauma.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
healing.
I could go and bang on about that all day.
I reckon we come back and do an episode on that.
100%.
I reckon. We should get her in as a guest.
Healing. Yeah, absolutely. Healing. Traveling is in. Traveling is definitely fucking in.
Where are you going? Have you got any trips booked?
Nothing booked, but I want to get to Europe. My friend is having her 30th in Italy. Yay! So I want to be there for 2 weeks. And then one of my best friends moved to New York. So I was going to go over there and surprise her, but I've just said that on here. So at some point I'm going to go over there and see her and then maybe do Europe as well. So,
yeah, big yeah. Something I really want to do New Zealand this year, and I know that sounds really like low key and chill,
beautiful.
but I really, really want to do New Zealand. I want to jump. I want to do the bloody bungee jump.
Oh, I've done it in New Zealand. It's insane.
I want to do the bungee jump and swing and all that adrenaline stuff. I'm so for it. I really want to do it.
Fuck yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I did want to go back to Greece and do Greece, and I want to go back and do Greece for my 30th, which isn't this year, the year after. So that's on the cards. Another get more money, financial freedom.
More money.
Financial freedom is in for 2024.
Absolutely, we're attracting all the money.
Attracting all the money, all the good vibes, all the good energies, and that's pretty much, I don't know. Oh, and reading, 100% reading.
Yeah.
That is my in. That is my main thing.
Yeah.
And better productivity with my fucking
100%.
with our time. Time management is in. Better time management.
All right. We are
rapid fire.
We're doing a whole lot of rambling at the moment, and are we doing good? Okay. We're going to end this segment. Start this segment with our last segment of the podcast with our rapid fire. So I haven't seen these. I actually did see a couple, I'm not going to lie. But
had a cheeky look.
Let's
get into it. All right. So they're a little bit of this or that, or just a random quick question. And I, to be honest, have forgotten what I wrote, so this will be interesting.
Perfect.
All right. Was there more highs or lows in 2023 for you?
I'm going to say there was. I said that there was even before, but I might say there was more highs. Now that I reflect on it, I think there was a couple more highs than there was low. But my lows were low.
Yeah.
What about you?
I definitely more highs for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we should skip this one. Is 2024 going to be a better year? Because obviously
it is.
Obviously.
Should we get Peter to ask these? I reckon we should get Peter. Okay. I reckon Peter should ask the questions.
Let's go.
All right. Introvert or extrovert in 2024?
I actually think
I'm going to say both. Introvert when needed, extrovert when needed.
I was actually going to say I'm actually not going to lie. I reckon I'm itching more towards the introvert.
Yeah.
But we want a bit of both.
Yeah.
Best thing about
You're fucked. You're fucked, mate. Best thing about 2023.
I'm gonna say you can only say one thing. I'm gonna say WBFF competing again.
Quitting my teaching job.
I was gonna say you both can't say the same thing.
Yeah.
Where are we? One thing you're leaving behind in 2024.
Bad sex.
One thing I'm leaving behind is toxic people.
Toxic relationships.
Toxic people.
Yeah, competing in 2024? Question mark.
Undecided.
I was a yes for season B, but now I'm second guessing it. I think I might wait till 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, same page.
Traveling in 2024? Question mark.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell to the yeah.
Podcast binge or book binge this year? I'm going to add one or both.
Both, but reading. I'm more on the reading. I'm all for the reading.
I think I'm more a podcast gal. Yeah, I'm more a podcast gal.
Any podcast recommendations?
What's that Diary of a CEO shit?
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, the Evolve to Thrive podcast. That's a good one.
And Irrelevant Platitudes as well. It's really good. All right. Taking risks or playing it safe in 2024?
Taking a risk.
Taking risks, surely. You didn't put that on there, did you?
More quality time with loved ones or personal growth time in 2024?
I'm going to say both. One of my things to work on this year was to deepen the relationships that are around me. So that comes into play with both, I think.
I'm 100% on that. Yep. I'm going to say both.
Yeah.
Career growth or work-life balance in 2024? That's a good one.
I don't want to say both again.
I'm going to say there's no such thing as balance.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind on balance. It doesn't exist. And instead your life is definitely in seasons, and you definitely are going to work like a dog at certain points in your life, and then there's going to be times for play. Yep. So I'm going to say I'm actually more towards career growth as opposed to work-life balance in 2024.
Right there with you.
All right. Saving money or indulge in occasional splurges? My
answer is I'm going to save lots of money to then indulge in splurge.
I don't want to say same, but same. We're all about getting money.
Like we want
money bags.
But like you don't want to just get lots of money to save it for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already got a house, so
you save to splurge. You save to live.
You save to spill. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Cultivating new relationships or strengthening existing ones?
That's
Again,
a both.
or both?
That's a both. That's a both.
Yeah.
All right, we have to pick one.
Okay, I'm going to say strengthening existing ones.
In relation to friendships, I'm going to say strengthening. In relation to intimacy relationships, cultivating new ones.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, let's say friendships.
Oh, friendships. Oh,
Strengthen-
both. Nah, I'm up for cultivating new relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Journaling for self-reflection or expressed through creative outlets?
I'm going to say expressing through creative outlets.
I'll say journaling.
Yeah.
I'm a slut for that.
You are a slut for that.
What's your creative outlet? I want to know.
I don't know yet.
Podcasting.
Podcasting or like, I don't know. I want to find other ways of
Therapy.
yeah, or I don't know, find other ways of trying to figure out
Mindfulness.
trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
you know?
Cool.
Oh, podcast collaborations or solo episodes. I don't think anyone would ever do a solo episode, guys. It's all collaborations are awesome.
No, like us
No, I know.
doing a solo. Well, obviously collaborations.
Obviously, yeah.
Obvi.
Okay.
Setting specific goals or going with the flow in 2024?
Setting goals.
Obviously setting goals. I feel like we should skip that one because that's an obvious.
Stupid.
But what is this?
Yeah, George's predictions for Kayla for 2024, and then
Like,
we'll
what
do.
do
So we can
you-
do them both, and then we'll do Kayla predictions for Georgia after.
What do you predict for me this year, and what do I predict for you this year?
What do I predict for you this year? I feel like your business is going to take off this year because you've done the groundwork for years. And yeah, I feel like you're going to have a very successful year. I feel like it's going to take you maybe a few months to hit the ground running, but I feel like you're going to have a very successful year.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like you're going to feel a lot more sure of yourself this year and a lot more certain on what you actually want and what you need. So that means like kind of working out what you want in relationships, I think mostly. So I think my predictions for you is that you're going
Self-discovery year.
Yep. I think for you, my prediction for you is definitely a self-discovery year.
Yeah. I think you've hit the
Nail on the head.
I'm going to throw one in there. I reckon one of the two you'll end up engaged by the end of the year. I don't know who. I'm just throwing that in there. I have no idea. I have no idea. One piece of advice for the listeners to thrive in 2024.
Ooh.
And that is the last question.
Okay. One piece of advice.
Trust your gut. I feel like we always say this, but trust your gut. Like,
You do always say that.
yeah, always say it. You know deep down what the answer is to whatever it is that you're trying to find out. You know what you need to be doing. You know what is good for you. And sometimes we ignore that. So I think just trust your gut.
Yay for you saying that because it's triggered me to come up with my answer. My answer is to embrace solitude. Just enjoy time on your own
Yeah.
and being alone, because the year that I had of being alone, the time that I had not dating and just being immersed with myself, I know what I want now. And I feel
yeah to that.
and I feel like I am ready to bring a relationship into my life.
I was going to say, in relationship coach advice, it actually makes you better when you date people because you're not stuck with them all the time. You have
Yeah.
your own stuff to do.
Yeah.
It makes you a better partner because you
Yeah.
can be on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wait, so you're saying you need to be dating?
no, you need to be
around?
alone to then
So doing the work to be alone makes it better for you when you start dating someone
Yeah.
because you don't have that clingy need to be around them all the time.
yeah.
Makes for a healthy relationship.
Yeah. Love yourself before you can love anyone else.
Yep.
Oh,
I think that's a wrap.
We
On the
are.
first episode back.
I loved it. I'm happy. I mean,
know,
we
me
did a lot
too.
of rambles, but that's okay. Because
Yeah.
you know what? In 2024, what is in is
Here to stay.
Here to stay, the Evolve to Thrive pod for more random chats.
But yeah, there was a few people that messaged us too that they were excited that we're back in the
We're
studio recording.
back.
So we're super excited to be back here together as well.
And for those of you who thought Georgia was leaving, she's not leaving.
I'm here to stay.
We're a tribe. We are always going to be for now. Nah, jokes. So anyway, let's just wrap it up. And for those of you for sticking around and being patient, thanks so much. We can't wait to see you back.
Yep. We've got lots that we have planned for this year that we're super excited for. Super cool guests that we want to have on. So keep tuning in each week, and we will see you next
Week.
Wednesday.